Hello students. Today we will discuss about another important C programming concept that is called as structures. Structures in C. It is so far we were discussing about normal programming, normal logics by using normal variables, by having various data types. Various data types like integer, character, float, double, etc. Similarly, we were looking at another concept called as arrays, that is of derived type, means they are following the same basic data type in a different format by having more members into the memory under a single name but of a single existing data type. Okay, that was arrays. Now we look at another concept that is called as structure. So there we need to have a comparison with arrays. So let us see, an array is usually a set of elements. They are stored contiguously in contiguous memory locations, and these locations actually having some values. They are of same type. They are of same type. The data type is same for all the values. So if you are declaring an array A, its location, all these locations will be having the same type of value. If A is declared as integer, only integer. If A is declared as character, only characters. If A is declared as float, only float values. So we are dealing with a number of elements, number of values of same type. Okay, so the situation, when we require these types of information only, like if you want to have some set of numbers only, we can use arrays. If you want to have some set of characters only in the form of string, we can use character array. Or if you want to have some set of float values only, we can use the concept of arrays. But assume that there are situations when we require a record like structure. If you want to have some record like structure, like I need to have the name of a person. I need to have the name of a person. Then I need to have the roll number of a person. Then I need to have the mark of a person, for example. If you want to store a record like this one, means we are having three values. Here also we are having some values, but all the values are of same type. They are stored contiguously. But if you want to have the storage of a record like structure that consists of like name, roll number and mark. Name you know already, which is of character type. Then roll number you already know, which is of integer type. And mark I can call, if it is a decimal mark, will be sometimes it will be floating point. I am just considering this as a floating point value. So if you want to store a single record that consists of various types of information, like if you want to store the student information like roll number, name, mark and other details, they are actually of different types. So if you want to store those data of different types, and that is for different number of students. So first student will be having a name, roll number, mark. Similarly, a second student will be having another name, his roll number and mark. Then third student will be having his roll number, name, roll number and mark. Similarly up to the total number of students. So if we want to store these type of record like datas, we cannot directly use array because array holds only a single type of data. But for storing these different types of data, we are using the concept called as structures. Okay, so a structure is a user defined data type. So implicitly there is no such concept available. We are having a provision to create a new structure. Implicitly we are having int, char, etc. Then array, all these are available, but there is no record type available within the C system. Okay, so the user, we need to define our own data type. So a new data type will be created by the user. So we have already seen before, like we are using typed for creating a new data type. That is only what we are doing there. We are giving a different name to the existing data type, that's all. But here we are defining, we are giving a structure like roll number, name, class, like employee number, employee name, salary, etc., etc. All these informations together to form a new record structure, and that is treated as a separate data type. And this data type can be used for creating these type of record data. Hope the difference is clear. Here array holds multiple values of same type, and each cell will be having of same size, memory size. But look at this one, here it is like a single record. Name is a character, like character array. So based on character array, the name size will be 1. Then one character 1, if the name holds 10 characters, so totally 10 bytes are required for storing a string. For roll number, integer holds 2 bytes. So roll number is 12 or whatever be the number, it requires 2 bytes. And mark, if it is float, it requires 4 bytes. So for the single record, a single record data, it requires to join the different sized data, like character array one size, integer one size, then mark another size. Okay, so that cannot be directly done. We cannot have any implicit data type available. So we need to create our own data type in this particular format. Then use that data type for creating these type of record type information. Like if you want to store the if you have 67 students in a class, if you want to store the entire details in a table format, so each record means first record roll number 1, roll number, name, class, etc., mark, etc., roll number 2, another record, roll number 3, and so if you want to write all these by using individual variables, it will be a very complex program. If you are using array, we cannot use an array for different types of data. So in this situation, we are developing a new data type, and that data type holds different types of data, and we can have multiple number of data also. Okay, so that concept is called as structure, which is a user defined type used in C as well as C++. It creates a data type. Just remember, we are creating a new data type, and that can be used to group items. Like this one, possibly of different types. Normally when we are having different types, if you are having only integer types, you can use arrays normally. But if they are of different types, roll number and mark, if both are integer, they are different. Actually requirement is different, so you cannot use a single array for that. Okay, so for a record like structure, we need to use a structure concept, which is used to create a user defined data type. It will be created by the user, and we are using a keyword struct, which is a common keyword in C and C++ for creating a structure. And it can be declared, a structure variable can either be declared with structure declaration or a separate declaration of basics type. We will see that. Okay, so how this declaration can be done. Okay, so what here they are mentioning is like we can create our own structure type also. By using other structures also, we can form a new type. Okay, so that is why it is given in this format. So consider if you want to create a person. Okay, so like this one, multiple types of data are declared for this person information, person record. So this is the syntax used for that. So we are providing apart from this main function and other function, we are creating a separate function for creating a structured data type. Okay, so the syntax will be like struct. One example is given: struct person. Struct is the keyword, person is the name of that data type. This is the name given for that particular data type. Okay, so normally when we use this structure concept, we are together these two, we are considering this as the data type name, not only person. Struct person together is used as the data type name. Okay, then within this, then open a curly bracket, opening brace, then declare all the types of informations required for this particular record. So first thing is, now it is common to you, like char name of 30, a string declaration, int age, char address. So a string name, an integer age, and a string address. Three informations are together to form a data type called as struct person. Okay, declaration. So these three to be together form a single record. So we can have a single person, we can have multiple person also. We will see that one data type is being created. So person is the name of the data type. Then after this declaration, you have to close this declaration. This is the structure declaration, closing brace, and then put a semicolon. This semicolon is very, very important to stop a particular. So this is actually called as a structure declaration. Structure declaration means we are going to define a new structure data type. Okay, so this is an example pattern. We'll see the common format. General format will be like structure name. This is the name. It is like a function name. It is a user defined name. Then opening brace, data type member 1, data type member 2, up to data type member n, then closing brace, semicolon. This forms a user defined data structure. Then we can utilize this structure name. Whatever structure name is being created along with struct keyword, we can use that as a separate data type. Can be used for creating multiple number of person or multiple number of students. Like that we can form different records. We will see further details later. Now again, let us see the conditions to be followed when we are using a structure. Like it is terminated with a semicolon. It is must. While the entire definition is considered as a statement, each statement is declared independently for its name and its type in a separate statement inside the template. So each declaration must be taken as a separate, because separate types are being defined. So we need to have separate statement inside the template. Okay, so we will see example and its logic, how it is working. But if you are very familiar with normal data type usages and array usages, this topic is very clear. Only thing is we are having a new type defined based on the existing type and to form a record, a data type. Okay, so before moving into examples, let us see the differences between both array and structure. Okay, it's an important point. Array is a collection of data elements of same type. I will be mentioning the main point only, but here we are focusing on different types. The major requirement. Now second one is array is derived type and structure is a user defined or programmer defined one. Array concept is already there. We are only creating that existing type by using a different name, but here we are actually creating a new type. The type itself is generated by the use, but array is utilizing an existing type. Okay, now an array, any array behaves like built-in type. All you have to do is to declare an array variable and use it, but structure we have to design. We have to design and declare. So while doing declaration, we have seen that we are giving all the informations that are required for that particular structure data type. So the basic difference is the first one, similar type and different type, and this is derived one and structure is user defined, and the usage by with which type it is using. Array is using a traditional type, but here we need to design our own type along with the declaration. Here we are only doing array declaration, but here we need to design and do the declaration of. Okay, so we have to create the structure, then we have to declare Okay, if you are having a data type, we can declare a new type. If you are having integer, you can create a new what? We can declare a new variable. If you are having a structure type, we can create a record. Okay, now how to declare a so if you are having, so by using the above syntax, we have already declared a structure. If a different type is being created. Now after having, so type is there. If you are having a type like integer type, if it is available, I can declare a variable like int a. If int is available, I can create a, int a. Similarly, if this struct person is available, I can create a new type like a. If a is of type person, that a will be having properties name, age and address. I can declare a b of type person, which will be having properties name, age and address. Okay, so declaring a structure variable will be having the following format. So after creating a structure, creating a data type, you have to declare it separately, means creation of structure variables. So it requires keyword struct, it requires the name of the structure, the list of variable names, means if you are having some 10 records to be created, list out that separated by commas, then end with a semicolon. Okay, so an example can be given like struct person p1 comma p2 comma p3 semicolon. Struct person is the data type. This is the data type. It is just like a normal variable declaration, right? Data type variable 1, variable 2, variable 3. So similarly, data type struct person is the data type. So that data type must be available there. That by default it is not there in the C system. So we have to create that. Then you use that data type. While using, you have to use struct keyword, the name of that structure, then the name of variable separated by comma. So p1 is a record, p2 is a record, p3 is a record. Similarly, we can have n number of variables. Okay, so three things. First one is what is structure, why it is being used, compare that with array, because while starting structure we need to have a comparison, because we need to know the difference. Then structure definition, how to create a structure data type, then how to declare, how to create a structure variable. Okay, so whenever if you want to we want to create a set of students information, you have to create the structure first, then create the variables next, then based on these two you have to read the values, print the values. What we are doing with arrays, we are reading the size, we are reading the elements, we are printing the elements. Similarly, if you are having a type already being created in the form of a structure, and if you are having a variable based on that data type, you can read the values, you can read the name, roll number, mark of first person, similarly second person, third person, etc., etc. Okay, so let us see, we will see some example programs using this. While explaining program, we will see how to access the elements and all in from the structure variable by using structure variable. Okay, so first program will be like a program to create a structure employee. So I will be creating a new type employee with member variables name, age, BS indicate basic salary, DA, HRA and total salary. Okay, so create a structure in this particular format. Then total salary is calculated by the equation total salary equal to 1 plus DA plus HRA plus basics into basic salary. This formula directly given. How to calculate the total? Don't bother about the formula and all. We are giving. So salary calculation itself will be different in different situation, in different organization. Just don't mind that. We are having all these information of different types in the structure variable. So similar employees will be there, and for each employees we have to find out the total salary. So read the values of an employee and display it. So total salary is not directly given. Based on the other values you have to find out the total salary, and just read some employees details, means scan the values, just like array, scan all those values, So employee 1, read 3 means name, roll number, mark. For example, here it is like name, age, basic salary, DA, HRA, and total salary. Okay, total salary we cannot read because it is to be calculated based on the other values. So we have to read other values and we have to find the total salary. Okay, so that can be done very easily. Okay, but reading can be done. Similarly, for each employee you have to read. Along with reading, if you get all these values, total salary can be calculated. And finally, after reading all these, if you want to display that in a table format, we can directly go for a printf. Display all these structure, variable and corresponding values. Okay, so by using structure variable, how we can access a particular element. Okay, so that is the only thing that is remaining for this particular structure topic. Okay, let us see the example here. First of all, after the inclusion of header file, just declare a structure. Struct employee. This is the structure declaration. Then I am having a name, char name of 30, int age, float basic salary, float DA, float HRA, float total salary. So these are the elements present in a structure. Okay, so some what you say, that structure type will be created like, memory will be allocated like in this format. So this is for name, then this is for age, basic salary, DA, HRA, and finally we'll be having one location for the total salary. Okay, so the size will be varying. Just listen once again. The size will be varying for different members. Array, all the sizes are same, but here individual cells are of different sizes. Okay, so this will be created. Struct employee. It is done. It is written outside all the function. So it is above the main. Now structure is being created. Now data type is there. Okay, now in our program I will be utilizing this data or data type. This data struct employee is being created here. Now inside the main we will see how we can use this. How to declare. Already I have mentioned how to declare the structure variable. Struct name of structure. Then I am declaring only one employee, E. I am having only one employee. So I need to read the details of that one employee, then display the details of that one employee. That's all. Okay, so structure is created separately. A new data type is being created. Then a new employee. So here you can have E1, E2, E3. I can create any number of employees. Okay, but for the first program I am creating only one employee. Then printf, enter the name. So as we are having only one employee, no issue, I can directly enter the name. I require the name. I am doing scan of percentages. Just look at this statement. Scan of percentages. It is a character array. First one, character array does not require an ampersand while scanning. Now how to access a member? That is by using that variable name like E dot the name of the element. If I want to access name, variable name, structure variable dot that member name. Okay, structure variable dot member name. For accessing any element, structure variable dot member. If you want to access mark, E dot mark. If you want to access basic salary, E dot BS. If you want to access total salary, E dot total salary. This is the way how we are accessing the member, individual members present in a structure. Okay, in a record. Okay, so scan of percentages, E dot name. So this will be taken into the first location. The name will be taken. Then enter the age. Scan of percent D. As it is an integer type, ampersand E dot age. Just look here. As it is a string, we don't require ampersand, but here it is a normal integer, we require ampersand E dot age. Okay, so normally if you are reading age, you are simply reading ampersand age, but here as it is a structure member, structure variable dot that member name. Enter basic salary, ampersand E dot BS, enter DA, ampersand E dot DA, enter HRA, ampersand E dot HRA. So only all these informations are known to us. total salary is not known to us. Now we are going to calculate total salary. That means E dot T salary. So any member can be accessible by using this structure variable only. So E dot total salary is equal to, I'll be using the formula 1 plus, it has given like 1 plus DA plus HRA into BS. Okay. Now for this employee, how we are calculating? 1 plus E dot DA, this employee's DA, that is already taken here. It is already there. It is there. Plus E dot HRA, it is already there. Into E dot BS, it is also there. So E dot total salary will be filled with this value. So whatever value we have taken here will be processed on this formula. So you cannot directly write like 1 plus DA, because DA is an element present inside a structure. So through the structure variable only I can access that DA or HRA or basic salary. So use structure variable dot member. Okay. So E dot total salary is, so this particular employee total salary is calculated as 1 plus that employee's DA plus that employee's HRA into that employee's basic salary. So this reading is over, salary calculation is over. Then next one, just print those information. So what we are doing here, printf, just like array printing, means whatever values you want to print, you directly print. Okay, I want to print roll number, name, etc., etc. So in whatever format you want to print, you can use that. So here I am simply printing like name equal to age equal to print. If you want to print that like a table, you can use that format, you can change. Now here I will be printing just like name is equal to, I will be printing E dot name. Okay, printf age, E dot age, E dot BS, E dot DA, E dot HRA, E dot T salary. It will be printed like name equal to age equal to basic salary equal to zero. Just look here, printf, while printing this floating value I am using a format specifier percentage 0.2 for giving decimal point that value, because 2 decimal point will be there for this these datas. Okay, so that's all. If you want, you can use that, otherwise you can avoid that, just like percentage f. Okay, this is the initial point of C. Okay, so what are the things we have done? We have taken, you have created the structure, then inside the main I have created a structure variable, then scanning all the information by using structure variable dot member name. This is only for one employee. Okay, we'll look at the situation when we are having multiple employees. Okay, here we are having only one employee, reading all those information, finding the total salary by using the formula given, and then printing the values. Directly we are printing all these values. Okay, so enter the name, some details are being entered, then these are printed in this particular format here. If you want to print it in a, means because we are having only one record, so I don't require a table, right? So in any format we can print. Okay, now we look at another program. Let's see another program. It's a very simple one. To create a structure complex with member variable real and imaginary. Now complex number a plus bi, right? That format. Okay, so you have to create a structure complex with member variable real and image. Perform addition of two complex numbers, a plus bi plus h plus yi. That for two complex numbers to be added. Okay, so what is to be done? Real part to be added, then imaginary part to be added. That is the only solution. That is, then we will be getting a third complex number. Okay, so how it can be done by using structure? It is not a correct solution for finding summation of two complex numbers, because from this point only the development of C++ class concept is being created, because some drawbacks are there with the usage of structure. So from the structure concept only we are having the C++ class concept. Okay, now to avoid the drawbacks of structure, classes are being, so when we started using classes, even C++ they are not using the concept of structure. Okay, but this is only a base for those object oriented concept by using classes. Okay, it is only a very base simple way of using these record like structure. Okay, let us see here. The difference is even normally we are using with different types. Here see, we are declaring a struct complex. We are having two members, real and imaginary. Both are of same type. Okay, so assume even if it is of same type, the usage will be different, right? Okay, you cannot store it like an array because real and imaginary two different situations. So you cannot put it in a single array. Okay, so that is why we are creating a structure like a user defined type. Two members are there, real and imaginary. So declaration is over. So data type is being created. Then inside that, now when you just come to the main what we are doing, I am creating a structure variable struct complex a comma b comma c. So I am creating three variables of this type. Struct complex a b c. So meaning is a is the first complex number, b is the second complex number, and c is the resultant complex number. Okay, now printf enter the real and imaginary part of first complex number. Scanf %d ampersand a dot real, a is the first one, a dot real comma ampersand a dot img. A dot real, for this element I am finding a dot real and a dot imaginary. Just scan that, that's all. Reading is over for that. Then next one, printf real and image of b. I am doing scanf ampersand b dot real ampersand b dot image for this b. B dot real and b dot imaginary. Okay, then c dot real is equal to, so it will be calculated for real part to be added separately and imaginary part to be added separately. So c dot real is equal to what? A dot real plus b dot real. This record real plus this record real is equal to this record real. Then c dot imaginary, this part imaginary is equal to a dot imaginary plus b dot imaginary. Okay, then printf c is equal to, I am printing in this format, %d plus %di, that is the format of complex number. So I need to print two numbers here, c dot real plus c dot image with I. Just for printing I have given I here because it is within double quotes, so I will be printed along with this real and imaginary. It will be like a plus bi. So if a is 10, b is 20, 10 plus 20i. Okay, that is being printed. Okay, so just a simple manipulation of members of two different structure. So in this example you can see more than one structure variables. Single structure declaration, by using this structure I can create multiple number of structure variables, and we can scan the members of each individual records. Then you can have some manipulation between different members of different structure variables. Okay, so a structure a real number can be added with structure b real. Okay, but no problem because these two are integers. Okay, imaginary also, they are integers, they can be added, any two integers can be added easily. Only thing is we are getting this value from that particular structure variable and corresponding number. Okay, so a sample, one example is, the output is given on sample example 10, 20, 30, 40, and the result will be like c is equal to 10 plus 60, 40 plus 60i. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now we will see another situation where we are having array of structures. So in the first example we had only one employee. Scanning and printing it was very easy. Second example we had three structure variables. Now if we have some limited numbers of structure variables, we can easily do that. Okay, because even that will be a very simple program only. But if you have more number of structure variables present, it is not always easier to use this comma format, a comma b comma c comma d. That is not an easier task. Like when we are using array, because if you are having 1 or 2 or 3 members, we don't need to use array. But if you are having some 5 or 10 or 20 or 30, we can use array. Similarly, if you are having more structured variables present of same structure type, we can use array of structures. We can use array of structures. Okay, the concept is very simple. We'll discuss on that based on a program. Okay, so just look at the program. Declare a structure, namely student, to store the details like roll number, name, mark for C. 3 details to be printed: roll number, name, and mark for C of a student. Then write a program in C to find average mark obtained by the students in a class for the subject programming in C. Average mark, that means we need to find out the we need to read roll number, name, and mark of C for all the students. So we'll be having some 60 students, 67 students available. Then we need to find the average mark of the subject programming in C. If you have 67 marks available in integer format, we can find average, right? But remember, if you are having 67 students, roll number, name, and mark to be entered, structure declaration is very simple, okay? But if you want to have 67 member details to be scanned in our previous, if you are using the previous pattern, we need to declare 67 number of variables, right? So that is not practically possible, but it's very difficult. But in that situation, we can create an array like structures. Just look at the program. Just remember, a student is the data structure type, then with elements roll number, name, and mark in C. Then find the average mark of C for the entire class, entire students. Okay, now look at the program. First of all, we are creating a structure. That will be very clear. We are creating a structure student. It consists of name, roll number, mark for C. 3 variables are there. Okay, now this is already there. Char name of 30, already known concept. In the roll number, normal. So it is a character array. It is an integer array. It is integer value. It is an integer value. Then closing. Then semicolon. So student data type is being created. Okay, so just follow the pattern is very common. We are going to follow the same pattern as in the previous example. Okay, now let us see the main program. Let us see the main program where we want to declare first thing as in the previous example. Here also what we are doing, we are going to declare. Just look at these statements. Most important one, struct student S of 30. What is the difference with the previous program? In the previous program we had like E comma A comma B comma C, right? Here you can have S1 comma S2 comma S3 up to S30. But what I am doing, struct student of S30. So what I am doing is, I am creating an array. I am creating an array of type structure. Structure type array. That means 30 students with those informations. 30 students with those information, and the variable array, if you are using an array, a single name can be used for accessing that. Okay, so S is the name of that structure variable. You are using a subscript and a size indicates maximum 30 records can be held with the array variable S. So what is the type of this array S? Its type is this one. Whatever type is used with its declaration, that is structure type. Which structure type? Student type. Okay, I think it is clear. Rather than writing S1 comma S2 comma S3, we are using an array. Now it will be clear. Now declared all the variables. I will see that. Then average, to find the average. Enter the number of students. So here it is given like just like normal array. 30 is given. Up to 30 records are permitted, but I'll be entering only few. Just means some 4 or 5 student details only required. Okay, so that is why enter the number of student. Scan of that number. For example, 3. 3 is the n number that I have entered. Then for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So it will be having like an array 0, 1, 2. Now what is 0? 0 consists of what? 0 consists of further a structure 1 consists of further a structure, 2 consists of further a structure. Okay, so in this format only. So here it will be having name, roll number and mark, name, roll number and mark, name, roll number and mark. Okay, so name is S. Okay, so for I equal to 0 to n minus 1 less than n up to 2, 0 to 2, what is to be done? Enter the student name inside the loop. Okay, enter the student name, scan of percentages SI dot name. Now change SI dot name, that means S0 dot name. This will be scanned. Okay, then enter the student roll number, scan S ampersand SI dot roll number, S0 dot roll number. This will be scanned. Then mark SI dot mark. This will be scanned. Next iteration for I equal to 1, and 1 means here. Okay, then S1 dot name, this will be scanned. S1 dot roll number, this will be scanned. S1 dot mark, this will be scanned. Again I2 name, roll number, mark will be scanned. Then it will be exiting from the loop. So all the details of 3 students are being scanned. Reading is over. Now it seems to be very simple. Otherwise, what we need to do? Enter the name of first student, enter the name of second student, enter the name of third student, enter the mark of first student, enter the mark of second student, enter the mark of third student, enter the roll number of first student, second student, third student. That much statements we need to repeat and scan. Okay, so the program length can be reduced by using this array of structures. If we are having more numbers, if it is 100 students, only these statements are required. Up to n, only these 6 statements are required for reading and asking for a text and reading. Hope it is clear. Okay, now after that, so what is our aim? Not only reading. Now after reading, so all the informations are currently available. Now after reading, what is to be done? What is to be done? This is the portion. I need to print. So I will be finding the sum and average along with the print. I will be writing name. Then I have put a slash t, roll number, slash t, mark for C. So just for printing in direct in this way. Name, there will be a tab. Then roll number, there will be a tab. Just as a heading, this printing is used. Then again I am using a loop for printing those values. For I equal to 0, I less than and I plus plus. For each student, printf percentage percent d SI dot name. So first 0th student name will be printed, 0th student roll number will be printed, 0th student mark will be printed. Along with that, what I am doing, sum is equal to sum plus SI, 0 mark. So sum is initially 0, it is already there declared, that will be added. Next iteration, first student name, first student roll number, first student mark. Then with sum, this new mark will be added. Then next iteration, next student roll number, mark. Then this mark will be added to this sum. Then come out. If you want to print sum, you can print that. Otherwise, AVG is equal to sum divided by float of n. Because n is an integer, sum integer by integer will. So we are giving a float typecasting here. So I hope it is already familiar. Average is equal to sum divided by n. Total number is with this n. Then print the average. You will be getting the average mark there. Now so it is for any number of students reading and printing, only this much code is required. So next time when we ask for the number of students, put it here as some 100. Then write the same code, but while executing it will be asking for entering all those details for 100. Okay, but the code is only this much. Okay, I hope it is clear. Just rewind it and go through once again if you have any doubt. Then look at one sample, enter the number of students 3, I will be entering name, roll number, mark, second student roll number, name, mark, third student roll name, roll number, mark. Then name, roll number, mark 4C be printed. So while printing you can do some formatting for adjusting all these. This can be adjusted by adding some tab and all, depending on the heading size, heading character size and all. You can do some adjustment here. By adding more tabs we can move it here and here. Then average mark is equal to 40. That is being printed. Okay. So we'll see one more example where we are using array of structures. Same program like finding the total salary. Okay. Now we have given one change also here. This program is for creating a structure employee. It is the direct repetition of the previous program. Only thing is we are having array of structures, and also we are doing one more thing. Already known concepts are being implemented in this program, like array structure and function is being used and structure. All these concepts are implicitly, it is added in this particular program, because all these can be connected here. So create a structure employee with member variables name, age, basic salary, DA, HR and T salary. Total salary is calculated based on the formula. Then read the values of 3 employees and display details based on, here I have added one more condition, the order of descending order of total salary. I am not printing directly in the descending order of the total salary. So what we are doing, we are creating a structure. Okay, that is not an issue. Then we are reading the values, that is not an issue. But while printing, we need to print it in the order of, in the descending order of the total salary. That means whatever salaries are available there, means 3 students are there, 3 salaries are there. This is to be sorted, records to be sorted. Just remember the different records to be sorted. That means first row, second row, third row. Now what is to be swapped? First row to be swapped with second row. Okay, so record, the entire record to be swapped when we are doing this sorting. So sorting algorithm, we are going to use the same thing. That's that same logic we are following as in the bubble sort. But here just remember, we are swapping between different records. It is happening between structures. In arrays it is between 2 integers. Okay. In character array, means 2-dimensional, that string sorting, it is happening between 2 character arrays. Here it is happening between 2 structures. One student will be swapped with another student. Okay. Now I hope question is clear. Now let us see the program. First of all, it's exactly similar to the previous one. We will see the structure is being created with char name, age, basic salary, DA, HR and T salary. Structure is being created and with a semicolon after closing the curly bracket. Okay, then here direct, after that I have given a definition of a function. A sort function is given. Just leave it now. We will directly go to the main program. From main we will come to that point. Okay, from main I will come to that point. Okay, just look at the major element here. So inside the main, as you know, I need to create the structure variable. It is using array of structures. Struct employee E of 5. Struct employee E of 5. That means 5 employees maximum now memory being allocated. Then I am declaring a variable I. For I equal to 0, I less than 3, because 3 is given in the question. Okay, if you want to do for 5, that is also okay. That is up to you. For I equal to 0, I less than. So now in this example, I have considered only for 3 employees. Enter the name. All these are familiar. EA dot name. Enter age. EA dot age. Basic salary. EA dot basic salary. EA dot DA. EA dot HRA. Then T salary, as in the previous case, there we had only one employee, that's why E dot we are using, but here we are having multiple employees, so we are using E of I dot. Okay, and finally EA dot salary equal to, I am calculating the total salary by using this formula also, 1 plus not E dot DA, E of I. So first time 0th student DA will be added with 0th student HRA into 0th student basic salary. So this pattern will be followed. For 3 students, the same process will be repeated. So record is ready now, because for 3 students, name, for 3 employees, name, age, basic salary, DA, HRI, and total salary is also being calculated. So all these data are available now. Okay, now I'll simply use, so here you can see one more thing, one more point we are going to add here. I'll be using a function. I'll be using a function here. Just look at this function. So this can be an example program where we are using passing a structure as function parameter. Passing a structure as function parameter. Okay, so what we are doing here, sort, I'm calling a function sort of e comma 3. What is e here? What is e here? What is e here? E is this one, right? E is an array, right? Which type of array? Structure type array. So this e can be considered as a structure itself, right? So I'll be passing a structure. I am using only structure name because means structure variable. When we are passing an array, we need to pass only the name of that array. Okay, so while passing itself, it is implicitly clear that e is of type structure. So here the first parameter is actually we are passing the structure variable e. That means we are passing that structure, whatever structure. So this structure is actually being passed as the first parameter, and second one is the number of employees, because based on number only we can limit the iteration. Okay, so 3 members are there in the structure E. So we are passing these two. I'm simply calling sort. Okay, now while calling sort, what will happen? We'll go to the sort program. This is the sort program. Just look at the sort program. You can see a lot of similarities with our previous bubble sort program. The importance of bubble sort. We are using this in various situations. String handling, we used that. Array, we used that. Here also we are using this. Now look at the function definition. Void sort. It is not returning anything. Sort is the name. Look at the parameters here. First thing, like if it was an array, what we will do? Int a of empty, right? Similarly, it is not an array, normal array, it is a structure. So struct employee e of empty. You can use a different name also here, no problem. Okay, so just dummy. This is a formal parameter. Struct employee e of this empty. Just for mentioning that first parameter is of a structure type, and that is of array also. Array of structure. Just for understanding, first parameter is of array of structures, and second one is an integer. Okay, so we are passing e from here. That means that structure is assigned into this formal parameter, that is into e. Okay, now I am declaring 2 variables. Now here I am declaring one more struct variable here, struct employee t. You just understand this t is for temporary. This is the temporary structure. Hope you understood what is the requirement of this temporary structure variable, because we are swapping between structures. If salary is varying between first and second employee, 2 structures to be swapped, not 2 values to be swapped, the entire record to be swapped. So I require a temporary structure variable. 2 structure variables are being swapped. So temporary variable. Okay, then we are following for I equal to 0, I less than n minus 1. For j equal to 0, j less than n minus I minus 1, that the bubble sort, same loop we are following here. Structure is already there. From the structure, each record. Okay, we are following the same. First and second to be compared. Then based on comparison do swapping. Then this one compare. Based on that swap. Then this one. First phase. Repeat the second phase. Okay, you can avoid the last one, then between these two. Then that depends on the number. The same bubble sort algorithm. Okay, so if ej dot t salary, it is the array that we are using here, structure array, ej dot t salary less than. Why we are using less than means because here we are mentioning descending order of salary. If it is ascending order, it will be greater. We are following that only, right? Now it is less than e of j plus 1 dot t salary. E of j plus 1 means next record and its salary. If it is there, what is to be done? A swapping. T equal to E of j, that is why we are using this T. E of j equal to E of j plus 1. E of j plus 1 is equal to T. Okay, then the loops are being ended, the iteration, these phases, all the phases to be finished, and finally this will be having, this array will be actually in the sorted order, in the descending order. Okay, so just look at the previous function call. While calling, I am calling sort E. So that structure E, entire E array of structure is passed there. There it is doing some modification, sorting and changing. The same will be affected on this E also. Why? Because we are passing the name of an array E. When we are passing the name of an array, we are passing a reference. We are passing a reference. It is like passing, it is like a pointer only. So automatically whatever changes happens to that first parameter there, it will affect here also. That means this E is being changed. Why? Because it is passing a reference or pointer. Okay, we need to study pointers in detail. Okay, so when we print this E now, it will print the details in ascending or descending order. That depends on the sorting. Okay, so while calling sort, this E structure variables will be sorted. Then print headings separated by /t. Then for I equal to 0 less than the print of EA dot name, EA dot age, EA dot bs. Print of EA dot da, HRA, T salary, or you can write it as a single printf also. It is written separately. Okay, so before sorting E, if you want to print that, you can print it here. Before sorting, you can use the same thing. You can print before sort E comma 3, you can print it here. Now sort E comma 3, then you can print it here. So what will be the difference? First one, it won't be sorted based on salary, but second, after calling this sort, the records are in sorted order. Okay, let's see one example. Sangeet, age 31, salary, DA, HRA, Purnima 28, salary, DA, HRA, Pradesh, and all these details. And now it is printed in descending order. The highest salary comes first. Okay, I hope it is clear that array of structure. So three main situation. First thing is structure, the usage of structure, purpose of structure, difference between array and structure, how to create a structure, how to declare structure variable, how to access structure member of a structure, then how to read and print by using a single structure variable, how to read and print structures of with multiple number of structure variables, then how to use array of structures when we are having more number of records available, how we can use array of structures. Then finally you have seen one example where we are using how different records can be sorted. There we are using array of structures, and that array of structure is being passed as the function parameter, and with that function we are doing the sorting. It is always not required to pass that function. If you don't want to use the function, you directly write those code continuously where we are calling sort function. Okay, but I think it will be a better way to use a function in between, because otherwise for reading this seems to be a complex one. Okay, so structure is an important concept where we need to have the record like data to be stored in, or that is to be processed. Okay, so records, table structures are always required in many applications. This is a very important concept that is related to the, perhaps there are some drawbacks with structures. That is why the reason the C++ language have taken the concept of class, and nowadays the complete usage of structure is being avoided. Okay, so that's it for now. Thank you for listening, and I'll come with some other sessions soon. Thank you.